Do you ever go into a movie just knowing you're gonna love it? Yeah, that's Dune for me. All right, everyone, this is my review for the movie Dune, directed by Denis Villeneuve. Quick little background about my experience with Dune. I haven't read the books. I've seen David Lynch's 1984 Dune once when I was really young, and maybe, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. So that's my basis for Dune going in. So I'm more or less squarely just judging the movie. I don't have any book bias, so to speak, on how things should look and how characters should do. So I'm pretty clean going in. So before I go into some more details, just here's my overlying thought here for people considering or on the fence for this movie. If you liked or loved Blade Runner 2049, you will most likely really, really enjoy yourself at this movie. If you did not like Blade Runner 2049, there's a good chance you might want to skip this. And I think looking at some of the early reviews from other people, that's kind of the sense I get. You guys have seen Ged from Fabulous Flicks on this channel a lot. I actually saw Blade Runner 2049 with him in theaters. When we walked out, I said, "Hey, Ged, that's probably the best movie I've seen yet this year." And he looked at me and said, "Yeah, that's probably the worst movie I've seen this year." So that's kind of what I feel the sentiment's been from people. If you like the style, if you like the source material, you like how Denis Villeneuve does his stuff. You like the long, moody shots of just, here's like the planet skyline. Here's this new environment. Here's these ships slowly landing. Like if you like all that stuff, you're gonna love this. So that's a nice segue into probably one of the standout things of this film is just the aesthetic, the cinematography, everything. It really does feel like you've been transported, to the planet Arrakis. It is, it's beautiful. And I love, seeing David Lynch's, and obviously technology has come along. I just love the imagining of all the ships, the different, you get some of the worlds, you get whatever planet House Atreides is on, and then whatever planet Harkonnen's on. Sorry, I don't know their names, but they all have this clearly different aesthetic, and then obviously much clearer from the main setting of Arrakis. It's just great to look at. The cast, top notch. I think everyone does a great performance here. I have no complaints. Was there a standout for me? I didn't know Timothée Chalamet much or anything he was really in prior to this, so I thought he was great as Paul. And who doesn't like Jason Momoa? I thought he was great in his scenes. He was pretty badass. Dave Bautista, we didn't really get to see a whole lot, and he looks pretty menacing. So I think obviously part 2, we'll get a little more of him. And the other standout for me was Stellan Skarsgård as the Baron. He just... everything from the voice and the way they make him look. Again, very much, if you've seen, obviously, David Lynch's, it's kind of similar in that regard on how they make him look. Just, literally a crazy character. Crazy. Every scene he's in, I feel like I had like goosebumps just watching what he's going to do. So great stuff cast-wise. And then here's some thoughts just on the story. At the very beginning, a lot of the setup for me was obviously it's based on the same source material, but it felt pretty familiar step in step with David Lynch's. So I was starting to get worried, since I've already kind of seen this movie, I was expecting with this being a part 1 and I think it's even longer than David Lynch did the whole book. Why was I going to see something new or a different interpretation other than just a new paint job? And once they get to Arrakis, that's when I felt it really started to set in and pick up steam. The tension really started to build and kick off when they had the whole spice collector, the worm coming, and they bring in the carry-all to get it out and it malfunctions. Then the pursuing rescue and everything, that was great. That was absolutely top-notch scene. And then we escalate there to, House Harkonnen coming in with their... purchased or borrowed troops, whatever it is, coming in to just annihilate House Atreides and everything they have left. Like everything from like carpet bombing to just the soldiers just completely overwhelming them. It was great, beautiful choreograph. And again, like the contrast of the night shots with the explosions and again, the great looking stuff they built to build this world up. Just so great to watch in a movie theater. And then we kind of move back into more of the slow burn. And that's when the kind of clock in the back of my head's ticking. I know there's a part 2, like the ending's got to be coming up. And I feel they find a natural ending point for the movie. And to me, then that's probably the toughest thing for this is, one, if we get part two. So everyone, hey, if you're a sci-fi fan or love Dune, whatever it is, go out, spend your money in the theaters. Like, it would be a tragedy if we don't get part two. Like, what a waste of resources and a tease of all the work people put into this one. But at the same time, like, you're all amped up. You want to see how the story ends, and it kind of just ends. I guess it's kind of similar to, the way they broke up the Avengers. But I think the wait is going to be even longer between the movies. Again, I don't know, but I'm assuming it will be. So we're going to have a long time to see how everything concludes. And the one thing I'm curious is, as I'm not a book reader, but I feel like if I'm just comparing it to David Lynch's Dune, there's not a whole lot left to cram into like a 2.5 hour movie. So I'd love to know from people who read the book, how much material is left from the novel? Like, did David Lynch leave out a lot? Did he end it prematurely, so to speak, and found his own ending spots? Like, is there a lot more there to build out like a fantastic finale for this? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know, without spoilers, of course, if there's anything that wasn't shown in that earlier movie. So yeah, let's give this a score, and this is probably, since I've been doing some reviews on here, this is probably the highest score I've given out. I'm going to give this a 9.0. It's great. It's excellent. This is my kind of movie, my kind of sci-fi. I love it. I know not everyone will, and I know adapting a book is also very hard for people who love that particular source material, but from my perspective, in my opinion, I really, really enjoyed myself at this movie, and I hope you all give it a chance as well. Peace out, everybody.